Hi there, Leo. Healing Grasshopper here to do your first reading in September, the 1st to the 8th. Okay, so Four of Swords talks about taking a pause, about what I'm not sure. Okay, let's get the pendulum now, not reverse. Okay, so we don't even need any more cards to understand that Spirit is telling you take a pause before you leap. The Fool oftentimes is an encouragement to take a leap, like, the Nike symbol, just do it. But occasionally it will have a more of a cautionary message. And that's what the dog is about here. There's a question about the dog, whether the dog is egging his master on or he's cautioning the master, right? It's kind of Schrodinger's cat type thing, like you're not really sure. It's both, and neither at the same time, right? But in looking at where the positioning here and how the Fool is coming out after the Four of Swords, it's really telling me that you need to take a pause here. Queen of Swords. Okay. Yeah, it's starting to come now. I have a little bit of annoyance feeling. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Four of Pentacles. Leo, I think you might be focusing on the wrong thing. And we'll see what the rest of the cards say, but I feel like you're focusing on the wrong thing and someone is taking advantage of that. Is observing you focusing on whatever you're focusing on, which is what grifter type people will do. I don't know if that's the full story. I'm just saying that from the twinge of annoyance I just felt when I took the Queen of Swords out. And by the way, those of you who understand what the Queen of Swords is about, you guys are probably like, yeah, of course you feel that with the Queen of Swords. It's, Queen of Swords energy is like that. Not all the time in my readings. I don't always feel annoyed with the Queen of Swords. King of Cups. Isn't that interesting? Not reversed. Yeah, see, I think I'm on the right track here because the King of Cups is showing up in the middle of your reading now. He is the focus. And King of Cups is about keeping an even keel and not letting one's emotions, um, affect their decision making. And he is next to the Four of Pentacles, which is a problem here. Four of Pentacles is like I said, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're really tightly uh attached to some kind of notion that you feel is important when it's not quite as important as you're making it out to be. And there are other things going on around you that you're not paying attention to because there's something else happening here that you should be paying more attention to. I'm not saying whatever it is, really, Leo, that whatever it is that you're so closely adhered to is not important. I'm just saying that focusing too much on that is going to make you miss other things that you're going to need to draw your attention to, direct your attention to. Mm, no, I don't think that was ours. Okay, good. I'm glad to see it. We've got the Nine of Pentacles showing up now. So this is you are focused on some kind of material goal here, which is not a bad thing. Go get that coin, Leo. But sometimes when you're too focused on your coin, there can be other people observing you, you know, reaching in your pocket, taking coin from the other pocket as you're trying to fill one, you know. Um, See, Two of Swords under the Four of Pentacles is like you're not seeing the full picture. And it's almost as if you shouldn't be so closely adhered to this, but you can't help yourself, you know. But you know damn well what you should be doing. Two of Swords is always almost always that, like 98% of the time. Two of Swords is saying there's a choice that you have to make, but you don't want to make it. You know what you're supposed to be doing, but it's for whatever reason you don't want to step in that direction because there's something else that you'd rather be doing type thing, you know? Or you don't want to make it because you're afraid to. Chariot. We'll see if that's reversed in a moment. I think I have the deck upside down. You need two more spirit. Okay, good. I'm glad. Okay, chariot reverse, no. Okay. So spirit is not telling you to stop, right? Here I was talking about, taking a pause. You're just taking that pause to assess things and really see where it is that you're going. You know, don't take a completely blind leap. You've got to, set up that move first. King of Pentacles. Okay, good. Yeah, you're fine. So this is not like a doom and gloom, like dun dun dun, something terrible is going to happen if you take that leap. It's just you are avoiding, um, you know, mishaps and little fires that you're going to need to put out later if you just take a pause and assess things first. Um, Queen of Swords up here is talking about there are some things that you're going to need to tweak and eliminate and like dismantle. I don't know, the word just came to me. Just things that you're not going to want to have in place as you take that leap because it's going to make things difficult for you. And I wish I can be more specific. We still have clarification cards, so we'll see. Page of Swords. But the one thing I can tell you here is that you are moving in the right direction. King of Pentacles absolutely says that. This sentence here is like, there are some things you're going to have to assess and make choices on to have a successful progression towards um, luxury and material gain and stability. You know, Page of Swords here brings you clarity, right? So the outcome card can correspond to any card here and really all of them, but it is almost always attached to it's like a conversation that it's having with the first card in my readings. And so what this is saying is if you pause first and assess things before you take the leap, you will have clarity in what you need to. Okay, the word contract just came to mind. So if you guys are buying a house, you're a businessman, you're about to take on a new client or do a new project or even take on a new partner, whatever it is that you are signing, you're going to really need to stop and read all the fine print first. Okay. Also, it doesn't actually need to be a contract, marriage too. But it doesn't need to be a contract either. This can also be, well, no. I was gonna say relationships, but I don't really. I'm feeling more pentacles than cups here. Yeah. Listen, sometimes the scenarios are very difficult to draw from the energies, especially in a general reading. It's like I have to draw um, at the energy, and sometimes it can be so mixed that it's hard to draw a single story because there are many here. So, but the idea is to draw the general message. So the general message, and I see the thing is that I really like to get into specifics just because I'm nosy. I want to see what the story is, but I'm not always able to draw from it because spirit's like, that's not important. Just tell them this. Um, Anywho, Page of Swords and Four of Swords. Clarity comes from examination here. And see, these two here are the most significant cards in the reading here. This is your solution right here. No matter what comes out next, you really need to realize that try not to concentrate your focus in one area because there's plenty of other things involved that you need that need attention is what this is talking about here. And as long as you do that, you're going to see whatever it is that's been neglected, like, oh, I see, I need to, make this do this action to make this work well for me. And or oh, I this isn't, let's say we are talking about a contract and you find a sentence in the contract that's kind of dicey, and you're like, I'm not doing that, and you cross that out before you send it back to the other entity, the other lawyer, or your lawyer, like, I'm not doing that, to get that taken out of the contract, type of thing. That's Queen of Swords, right? But if you're over here like the Four of Pentacles, focused on one part of the contract, then you're going to miss all the rest of the stuff that later, after the contract's signed, you're not going to be happy. So don't be in such a rush, is what this is saying. So, by the way, the whole nosy wanting to know what's happening, would be great if you guys let me know how this resonates with you. Um, and by the way, it really does help readers when we hear the stories behind our readings. And it makes my day as well. The Tower, you see? This is avoiding disaster. I mean, there's nothing else to say about that, guys. If you don't pay attention, something that you don't like is going to happen. And then you are going to lose your control over it too, right? Because the cards surrounding this, under it, are saying, make sure, because here is Four of Pentacles is over controlling. But the word here is control. You are in the position right now of control. Just make sure that you are spreading out that control. Like I already explained this. So your focus, I'm sorry, I don't mean to repeat myself. But while you are still in the position of control, right? Because, and again, this doesn't necessarily mean a contract. I'm using it as an example because it fits really well with this. But um, you can apply it to however it resonates with you in your life. But the story of a contract is pretty clear to everyone. We understand what contracts are. It's an agreement, but once you sign it, you are bound to it, right? But before you sign the contract is when the control is still in your hands. You can agree to the contract or disagree with the contract, or you can alter the contract, you see? But after you sign the contract, there's no going back. You can't alter things. You can't disagree. You are legally bound to it, right? So that the things in the contract can affect you afterwards in ways that can mess you up. And here is the Tower. And then after the contract is signed, you don't have much control in the havoc that it can wreak in your life. So let's just not be, and look, the Fool and the Four of Pentacles are in a little diagonal line with each other here. They are talking to each other. Okay? So it's like taking the leap with over control can bring disaster here. But you've got the King of Cups, calmly telling you, like, yeah, that's not a good idea. Let's look at everything and let's let go of our fear or whatever emotion that's making us over control this, let go of it so we can have a clear view, take a pause and have a clear view of what we need to change before we move forward. Okay? The Eight of Swords is about feeling, wow, here's an interesting interpretation that I don't think I've ever had with this card. So, this card, the general message of this card is this person is making more of is the damsel in distress, but like the false damsel, like the boy who cried wolf kind of damsel. Like she's not really in trouble, but not really boy who cries wolf because he's intentionally lying. She's not intentionally lying here, but she has put herself in the state of mind of being a damsel when she's not. But she herself does believe that she is a damsel. So there's no deceit here. It's just like, oh, things are terrible. But this very rare interpretation that I'm getting is she has deliberately put this blindfold here, right? We've got two blindfolds. And the reason why I got this interpretation is that spirit like drew my eyes down here to the second blindfold in the Two of Swords. And this Two of Swords is about a choice. It's like if you don't do what you need to do, you're going to put yourself in peril. It's like in this interpretation, there is true peril that she is blinding herself to, which is apparent because of all the cards that are around her. She is showing up right next to the tower. So she's not imagining peril, there's real peril, right? But she has chosen to turn a blind eye to it because, you know, you don't want to examine things and you're for whatever clinging to, well, I'm talking in circles, but I think you get the picture. All right. Look at this. I don't even have to tell you. I think you can interpret this one for yourself. The Four of Swords coming out under the tower. This is spirit double downing on the take it easy and assess things first. Or else there will be trouble. There will be trouble. Okay. So now all the rest of it was advice now, but now Leo, spirit is starting to read you now. Okay? And by read I mean read for filth. I was talking about over here, um, Four of Pentacles about something that you're adhering to and you're putting too much focus in. So, and I told you it's either that you're too focused on something that you're going to gain or it's fear. The Four of Cups is absolutely screaming fear here. There is something that you are, it's not something that you're interested in. This is something that you're overly concerned about. And I'm not saying, again, I'm going to backpedal for you here. And I'm not dismissing whatever it is that you're concerned about. Whatever that you're concerned about might be very well be a true concern, but it's not the only concern. You need to pry yourself away from this and look at other things. Now, if you have counsel here, if we are indeed talking about a contract, go to your counsel. Tell your lawyer, I'm concerned about this. Let them take care of the concern. Take notes, but leave it aside and assess everything else. Now, this over here, Four of Cups, is about you drawing from your experience here and feeling as though this is kind of like, it's very like Murphy's Law type, but someone who's overly concerned with Murphy's Law, which I am very familiar with because I am a Capricorn. We are the kings and queens of Murphy's Law. We firmly believe in it, right? But if you focus too much on Murphy's Law, everything appears to be disastrous for you and it clouds your judgment. So we've got to, and by the way, attached to the King of Cups, King of Cups has mastery over this. King of Cups does not let his past experiences and past disasters cloud his judgment. He allows it to feed his wisdom. But is the King of Cups ever going to say, oh, I've seen this before. This person in the past hurt me before. This new person is going to hurt me too. No, the King of Cups is always going to assess every situation for what it is and examine everything with an even temper and even emotion, with his emotion in check. That's what needs to happen here. The devil. Is the devil reversed? Good. The devil is not reversed. But look at where he's placed. He's right in the center of this mess. The devil is licking his lips, stirring the pot here. Don't let him. So, and in most of my readings, I do personify the devil. But I feel the need here to like undo that personification because Leo, I really feel like you need to understand that there's negative and positive in everything. There are dark forces. You know what? Let's go with the shadow route. Everyone has a shadow, right? Do not let your shadow cloud your judgment and make a mess of things. King of Cups is a master of his shadow. We have one more. He is a master of his shadow, and although he acknowledges his shadow, he does not let his shadow make the decisions in his life. Okay. not reversed. Okay. So the Six of Pentacles is corresponding with the Four of Pentacles here. These two. The answer to overcoming the Four of Pentacles problem that you have in your life right now is being kind to yourself. Whatever you've been through in the past, you do whatever you need to do to make peace with it. Um, you can take responsibility for things without blaming yourself, right? You can acknowledge and examine other people's actions and mistakes without condemning them. That kind of thing. There's something that was going on in your past that really is making you, it's like made a rubber stamp for you, that you're stamping everything the same. It's important that you examine the present and not have the future come into play here because it doesn't fit. So the present has got to be seen as for what it is, the present, and deal with it accordingly. I am really looking forward to hearing from you guys in the comment section. This is by far the most interesting reading that I've done for this month, not even just this week. Very interesting. Leo, you are getting somewhere. You are going towards something that you desire. Just don't let your shadow ruin it. Let me know how this applies to your life. Let me know if there's something that's on your mind, if you have a question, you have suggestion, anything. I will be so happy to hear from you. Hearing from my viewers keeps me going. It uplifts me because the YouTube algorithm can really drag a content creator down. I'm sure you've heard that before. It really beats us up, this algorithm. We're trying real hard, and the algorithm just does everything to work against us. Um, I try not, 90% of the times, I try not to let it get me down. But what really helps me is hearing from my viewers. Then everything that's going on, the analytics and everything that goes on with my channel just goes right away. I don't care. Because really, what I'm doing this for is for you guys. Would I like for, my analytics to be better? Sure. But my number one focus is on you. So let's hear from you. It'll make me happy. It'll make my day. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. So every single subscribe does help. And it is a gesture that costs you nothing, that means the world to me. Okay. I thank you in advance. Um, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos. Um, if you're really inclined to helping this channel, um, what you can also do is go to my playlists that I've made and put them on autoplay as background noise while you're doing your daily tasks and even while you sleep. um, because watch hours are everything for content creators and to help a channel grow. Um, I'm assuming this is your sun sign that you're watching. What you may not know is that your moon rising and north node signs are just as important and can bring you a more complete picture if you watch those as well. So if you don't know what those are, you can find out pretty easily and for free by Googling calculate my blank sign, finding out what they are, coming back to the Healing Grasshopper channel and watching those corresponding videos. Shout out to all of my viewers, um, my English speakers, US, UK, Canada, Australia. I see you all in my analytics, and I'm very grateful for your support. Um, my non-English speakers, though, you guys blow me away. Um, my Spanish speakers, Portuguese, Brazilian speakers, um, my Filipinos and Indian watchers. I had a Hindi speaker recently ask me to dub my videos, which I really appreciated. Um, but the thing with that is dubbing is very expensive. So I would ask you to please stick with the channel, bear with the subtitles for now, and help the channel grow because as the channel grows, we will get there together when I can afford it. Okay? So I think that's it, Leo. Just focus on the big picture and you'll be fine. I will speak to you soon. Love, light, and many blessings.